Hi, I'm Daryl Urbanski, and welcome to the Best Business Podcast. My mission is to help create 200 new multi-millionaire business owners. How? You'll do better when you know better. In my interviews, you'll hear from self-made millionaires, seven-figure business owners, authors, and world-class experts sharing how they did it so you can too, without experiencing the same obstacles they did. Now, if you like this interview, please share it with a friend you think will benefit. They'll appreciate it, and I will as well. You can also connect with me on social media. Look for Daryl Urbanski, D-A-R-Y-L, Urban Ski, U-R-B-A-N-S-K-I, and add me so we can be friends. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy what I've prepared for you right here, right now. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. My name is Daryl Urbanski, your host as always. Today we are joined by Aaron Chen, and Aaron has been building businesses online for the last decade. He comes from humble beginnings, made tons of mistakes like all of us, paid for them, and it took him 8 years before he finally figured out how to generate sales on a consistent basis. He has since built a six-figure business 100% online and teaches hundreds of students all around the world how to do the same. He's an award-winning marketer and enjoys nothing more than seeing his students achieve the same results he has, only quicker. So I've asked him to join us here today to help any of you in the audience struggling to get to that next level. So Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Daryl. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Yeah, it's an honor and a pleasure. And so you say you came from humble beginnings. Let's talk about this. Like, how did you even get into this? Do you have, like, are your parents entrepreneurs? Like, what got you started?
Yeah, so no, man. I mean, my mom's in real estate. My dad used to own an advertising business that went, bust in 1998 when during the Asian financial crisis. So it wiped a lot of people out. I was a corporate guy, for many, many years. I was in corporate sales. And it's funny because when I first started my job, all I wanted to do was become a CEO of a company, of a big corporate company, right? And I did pretty well in corporate, but realized after 5-6 years really hustling that it was just not really what I wanted to do. And so back in 2008, 2009, my dad introduced me to the world of MLM, right? Network marketing. So that's kind of how I got my start. I never knew about residual income. I never thought I would ever build a business. I thought I was just gonna, climb the corporate ladder. And that was kind of my first entry point into the whole business, quote unquote business world. And that's how I got my start. Yeah.
Got it. So what was kind of the greatest challenge in those early days? And how did you overcome it?
Yeah, the truth is that it's funny, right? Because I consider myself a pretty smart guy, but business is hard. It's really, really tough, and it took me a long time to figure out, kind of navigate my way around the business world because it's just so different from working a normal job. When you're in your normal day job, it's really easy. You do this, you do that. You know exactly what you're supposed to do on a day-to-day basis. But with business, there are no real rules, And so with network marketing, I was pretty decent. I joined like 4 different network marketing companies, and I recruited about 20 to 50 people in each of them, but it wasn't scalable. I just wasn't making the kind of income that I thought I would be making, and it was a lot tougher than I expected, and there was no scale. So I kind of went online and did a lot of research and kind of discovered this whole world of internet marketing. And I've tried so many, over the next 8 years, I basically tried lots and lots of different business models, right? Affiliate marketing, internet marketing, top tier sales, e-commerce. I've done a little bit of everything. And I spent a lot of money making tons and tons of mistakes, basically, over the next 8 years. Just basically wiped my savings account, away, and then realized that I wasn't really getting the right results. And then, for a period, I quit my job, right? So I quit my job for about 3 years and just really hustled, worked from home, made a lot of mistakes, made a bit of money here, made a bit of money there, but really wasn't getting the results that I wanted to, ran out of money. And I literally had to go back into the workforce because I had nothing. I basically was down to my last $500, if you can believe it or not, right? And it was at that point where my girlfriend, who's my wife now, she was like, dude, you need to get a job. Seriously, you need to be responsible, and you need to go and get a job. And I was like, no, I was literally
crushing the dream.
Yeah, I was crushing my dreams, and I was like, no, I've been doing this for 3 years. I can figure this out. But literally, I had no more money. to figure it out. I was out of time, right? So I literally had to dust off my suit. I got my CVs out there again, and I found, I found a job. It was basically back in, sales, basically, back to what I was good at. And when I went back into corporate, I didn't give up on this internet thing because I had made a bit of money, so I knew it was possible. I just didn't know how to do it properly or consistent, right? So literally every day, I would be hustling on my business, on the commute to work. During lunchtimes, I would bring my laptop. I'd find a quiet little corner in a cafe, kind of fiddle around on my computer. And then at the end of every day, I would, work on my business for 3 to 4 hours. And then on the weekends, I would put even more time. And that's basically what I did every day for the next, few years. And that's kind of how I broke through. And so it took me a long time, but what I realized was I finally started to understand why people buy products online. I started to understand all about lead generation, and then more importantly, how to convert the leads that I was getting into sales and into customers. And that's kind of how my business really, took a turn for the better. Yeah.
So what were some of the key skills you felt you had to develop to get you over that hump?
Yeah, I think the one thing, especially when it comes to, well, there are a few things really. The number one thing is to never stop, right? Never quit. So I think this is a general thing with, if you want to build a business and you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you always have to take a lot of action, and you have to understand that you're gonna fail a lot. I wanted to quit more than probably 20 times in the first 8 years that I was, trying to figure it out. But if you never stop, then you're never going to quit, right? And you will figure it out at some point. So that's the first thing. But on a more detailed, level, the thing for me that really made the difference was building a lot of my own stuff. So number one, coming out with great content on a regular basis. So I started doing videos really heavily. And so that's why till today, YouTube is still one of my main strategies. So getting really good at understanding what my audience was looking for, creating content every single day, getting it out to them, figuring out the strategy where they would actually find my content. Because what I didn't understand was that, the internet is like, the world full of water, right? And if you release one video, it's like a speck in the ocean. Nobody's going to find the stuff. And that's the big mistake that I was making. I thought that if I just made a video, people are going to just naturally find it and consume my content. But that's so far from the truth, right? It's actually about creating good content and then understanding how to get it into the hands of people so they actually find your stuff and then watch it, and then get, sort of move forward, and you get the result that you're trying to get, right? So it was learning how to do that, learning the strategy, learning how to become really good at content, and then also understanding that I actually had to build my own stuff. So I had to build my own sales funnels. I had to build some of my own capture pages. And this might be a little bit technical for some of the listeners, but in my industry, internet marketing, these are like the basic things that you had to learn. Whereas in the first 8 years, I was trying to use other people's stuff most of the time. So I was using
affiliate.
Yeah, as an affiliate, right? So I was using other people's sales funnels. I was using other people's capture pages. I was using other people's email sequences, and that's all great and good, but understand that you're always, it's like having it's like using crutches to walk. You're never gonna get off them, and you're not gonna walk that fast ever on them. You might learn to walk a little bit, but you're never gonna run with crutches on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that in that case is they own everything, and it's like, it's sorry to interrupt, but I remember with one client, we grew their Facebook page following from 30,000 followers to 300,000 followers. We did like $3.5 million. But in that process, one of our biggest challenges was, 4 to 6 months into it, with that Facebook page, we were able to push a ton of traffic. But it was January 1st, I think it was 2014. Facebook changed the rules, and then that's when they introduced the boost post feature for your page. Right. And we were getting like 2 million impressions a week before that, and as soon as they introduced that feature, we were getting 300,000 impressions, and they wanted us to pay to have our audience reach the rest, and that's just a massive difference all of a sudden. So the danger is, like, you build your building on someone else's real estate. That just happens so many times. You really have to be careful, because like you said, the internet, I mean, MySpace once was the big thing, right? Now it's Facebook. Yahoo used to be the #1 search engine. Now it's Google. Anyway, so I think that's a
Absolutely.
really valuable lesson.
Yeah, definitely. And just on that point, Daryl, over because I started in 2009, that was when I mean the internet was, pretty heavy already. There are quite a lot of marketers on there, but it was still, really early days of the internet marketing
Hmm.
world, right? And that was when Google AdWords was really big.
Hmm.
And I got kicked off Google in 2010.
You got to slap.
Right? I got a slap, right? The infamous Google slap. And it's kind of the same thing that's happening with, Facebook now, even though Facebook is great if you can stay on there.
Yep.
But, what I call the big boy networks, they will always be like that. You have to play according to their rules. And if you don't protect your business from all sides, you might be, flying high one day and the next day, boom, everything is gone. And
Yeah.
I've had so many accounts shut down, not because I was doing anything wrong. It's just because I didn't understand the rules of the game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I had a friend. He got Facebook dialed in. He's out of Mexico. He was doing
right,
after expenses 20 grand US a month, net
right,
profit. Ran a Facebook ad campaign. Nonstop. I think he went in one day and he duplicated it and pointed at something else, and he had his account shut down. But it was the exact same ad he'd been running for 6 or 8 months or something like that. He just wanted to test like a new audience, and they
right.
just and they slapped him. They didn't like what he was doing. So sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. So you really need to have like persistence, and like so you have to own as much as you can, right? Have
Yeah,
backups too.
definitely. You have to learn how to generate traffic. You can't keep buying other people's traffic. You need to be on multiple platforms, not just one platform. Because if I got kicked off of YouTube, for whatever reason, then I'm screwed, right? So that's
Hmm.
why I need to protect myself with all the other things like Bing or paid ads or solo traffic, all the different methods of generating leads. Yeah.
So all right, so the skills that really helped you is one, making good content. Two, being able to get that content, like get it. Sorry, making getting being able to get that content found, and then
Mm.
building sales funnels. Is
Yeah.
that yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I definitely.
what's the key to the getting the content found part?
Yeah, so it really depends on what platform you're playing on, right? So let's just talk about YouTube, for example,
Sure.
because that's where, again, most of my skills are. The thing that I was doing, and this is interesting because I started the YouTube strategy when I first started in 2009, right? And I,
Mm.
I, I recorded a video every single day. I must have uploaded, maybe 300 videos or something like that. The problem is that every single one of those videos, people had there were only 50 views on each of those videos, so people weren't finding my stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so on YouTube, because there are hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of videos being uploaded every single day, the problem now is not just about creating good content, it's about getting people's attention and people finding your stuff. And so on YouTube, there's two main strategies, all right? The one that everybody talks about and everyone thinks of when they think of YouTube is becoming a YouTube superstar, right? A
Mhm.
YouTuber, and creating one of those massive channels where you have like 20 million followers and stuff like that. But the problem is in order to do that, it's very, very, very difficult, right? And there are very few people that know how to do that properly. So people like PewDiePie, some of the huge YouTubers, they're able to do that. But the normal everyday person to be able to do that, one, it takes massive skills and a little bit of luck, okay?
Mhm.
So I wouldn't recommend that strategy. The strategy that I use is I like to create a great piece of content or lots of it, and then I get it ranked basically on YouTube for a specific keyword. So for lack of a better example, if I was in the cooking space and I wanted to teach someone how to, fry an egg, I might make a video on how to fry an egg and literally go after that exact keyword, how to fry an egg. And so when somebody goes onto YouTube and they're like, "Oh, I want to learn how to fry an egg today," and they type it out, my video would literally fall. It would show up on probably number one, two, three, four, or the fifth result of the first page. Yeah,
Got it. So it's the keyword game all over again. Now, how do you rank for a
yeah,
keyword on YouTube? Is it keyword stuffing? Is that like because I know for LinkedIn for a long time, and honestly, even last time I checked, this interview is being done in 2018. But last
yeah.
time I checked, earlier this year, it was still if you wanted to rank for a keyword like marketing consultant, you just had to have marketing consultant in your profile more times than the number two guy. That's how, if someone did a keyword search, is YouTube like that? Do you just stuff keywords? Is it that
Yeah, yeah.
simple? It's not going to
Well,
stay that way if it is.
no, it's funny because it used to be like that, but it's not like that anymore, right? So
Mhm.
again, we're sort of in this time where a lot of these big boy networks are becoming a lot more sophisticated. They're
Mhm.
becoming really clever. So if you start trying to game their system by keyword stuffing, which is basically sticking as that keyword phrase
Yeah.
in the title, the description as many times as possible, they will penalize you, right?
Yeah. They
And
used to do that
you
in
know,
Google. They used to just make the text white and same color as the background.
yeah,
You
I've
know?
done that before.
Yeah. For the audience that's listening, you have to understand is that none of these networks are going to punish you for creating original, relevant, quality content. None of them
Yeah.
are going to punish you for that. But like Aaron said, if you're trying to game the system, if you think you found a trick or a loophole, if it's black hat, which means it's kind of like not legit. If you find something and it works, like okay, make money while you can, I guess, but be prepared to have it disappear because it can still be tough even when you do everything legitimate. So anyways, just a word of warning from there. Sometimes if things sound too good to be true, they can be too good be too good to be true. Sorry, carry on. How do we rank for a keyword?
Yeah, so this is the way that I would do it. I would first of all focus on, a particular niche. So let's just say you're in the weight loss niche, right? So you want to create obviously videos that are very, very related to that niche only. Okay, that's how you sort of build authority and you build a following. The way that you rank video is that around that niche, let's just say you're going after a particular keyword phrase like how to lose weight. Okay, a
Hmm.
simple example. I would make sure that I have that keyword phrase in my title, maybe 3 or 4 times in the description. But in the description, you want to write proper paragraphs and describe your video. You don't just add the keyword phrase 3 or 4 times. That doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
And then you have it at least one time, or I would just say once in your tags, okay? Then you create a great video around how to lose weight, however you want. The video could be 3 minutes long, it could be 15 or 20 minutes long. It's completely up to you. It doesn't really matter. Now, here is the real beauty, and this is where it really starts to make sense. If you started a brand new channel and you made one video on how to lose weight and you did everything right, your video is not going to rank on YouTube. And the reason is because your channel has no authority. Okay, and there are lots and lots of other channels out there that are going after those keywords that are a lot bigger than your little tiny brand new channel. Okay,
Hmm.
but as you start to build your channel, as you start to upload more videos around the topic of how to lose weight, how to get six-pack abs, how to get bigger biceps, or whatever you decide to go after, your channel starts to build authority over time, right? So for example, if your channel had 100 videos on there and they're all relevant, it will have a much, much higher authority than a channel that have had 20 videos, for example. Okay, so it's the long game. All right, the YouTube game, the YouTube ranking game, it's the long game. You can't, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? Just like entrepreneurship in general. So the idea is to really hustle on building a few different authority sites. So now you've got multiple channels that have hundreds of videos on them, and it becomes very, very powerful. It has a lot of authority, and that's how you actually start to rank a lot of video.
Got it. So you're producing content on a daily basis, publishing to these sites. Are you giving away everything on the farm? Like, are you trying to hold anything back? Is it just put all the best stuff you can out there? Like, that's another question I know a lot of people are going to ask is, well, how do I get a lot of people's attention but still have something to offer them afterwards?
Yeah, so I think that the easiest way to do that is to break up your strategies into little segments, right? So let's just say the overall strategy had 10 major points. I would literally just share 1 point or 2 points in every single video. That way you're giving away your best stuff and people actually love you for it, right? Because that's really important on YouTube, because there are a lot of people that pretend like they care, but they don't really, okay? So they don't really give away good content. But if you actually take that next level and you actually give away your best stuff, people are gonna like you more, but you're not giving away the farm because you're only giving them point number 1 or point number 2. And for them to find out a little bit more, they have to either buy your product or they have to get on your email list, and you follow up with them and you build a relationship, and that's really the way to do it.
And the reason why that's such a powerful strategy is because you might give away, say you have a course, you might give the entire course away, but you've broken it up into such little pieces that people would pay just to get the condensed, like just give me the condensed step by step how to do it, a course versus making me sort through your entire channel and find and read the blog articles. Like, I just don't have that much time. Just give me the fish, right? Just give me the
Yeah.
fish. Don't make me comb through everything and try to rebuild the fish scale by scale.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it would be so difficult for someone to, I mean, I've had, people message me and say, "Man, Aaron, I've been, surfing on YouTube for 3 years, and I'm not able to find out how to build this entire, puzzle together because it's almost impossible." People, YouTubers or video creators, they release random videos at random times. So it's very, very different to actually buying a structured course that's going to teach you how to do it, from step one to, from A to Z, basically.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're producing, 100, 365 videos in a year. How do we know what to talk about?
Yeah, so I keep myself. It's really, really important that you keep yourself learning, right? So if you've probably heard the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? So and
Mm-hmm.
then the easiest way to do this is to find a few people that you like in your particular niche area. So let's just say we're talking about weight loss again. It's just an easy, I like using that example. I would follow people that are masters at weight loss in the weight loss industry. I probably follow 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and I would literally just consume their content on a regular basis, and that's how you get ideas. That's the easiest way. That's number one. So focus time following your quote unquote mentors on different social media channels, whether it's Instagram or Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And then taking those little ideas, creating them in your own words, and then putting out that content. That's how you stay motivated. Another way that I do it is I buy books. I buy a lot of, hard copy books. I think that's a great way. If anything, people say that you should be reading a lot. The problem with a lot of books is you don't learn that much strategy. But I tell you what, though, it keeps you pumped and it keeps you motivated. And if you buy the good books, it does give you some strategy that you can then use for yourself in your own content. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to keep on it. You have to keep searching. And there's categories that people can produce content on as well. Like you mentioned weight loss. So if I go to YouTube, the beautiful thing is the search prediction tool. So when you start typing into YouTube any word, it'll suggest a bunch of things that you can search, and they're actually ranked in order of popularity. So I just put weight
Right.
loss in, and it's
Yeah.
giving me weight loss transformation, weight loss journey, weight loss motivation, weight loss hypnosis, weight loss workout, weight loss tips, weight loss meditation, weight loss subliminal, weight loss diet. So
Yeah.
now I could pick a handful of those and have some topics. And now at least I know if I'm producing content, I'm kind of producing content. And it's even good for research. Like if you're going to create a channel, what should your channel be about, right? If you want to do weight loss, what should I do? Just looking at this, people are interested in the transformation and journey stories. They're interested in motivation to help with their weight loss. They probably have feelings of lack of self-confidence, feelings of inadequacy around it. The hypnosis, there's hypnosis, meditation, subliminal. There's probably a whole business around just helping people retrain their brain, and whether it's neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, right? Affirmation tracks, right? Like that sort of thing wrapped around weight loss. And another good tool you can use as well is Google Trends. Google Trends is a fantastic tool for going, and I like to go worldwide. If you're in a local country or something, if you're targeting people in a certain country, you maybe want to take that country. You make the timeline the last 5 years, and you put your keyword in, and it'll tell you the top search terms, and it'll even tell you what cities. So if you were going to use YouTube to try to generate leads for like a live event or something, or especially if you're a local-based business, that's a fantastic way to know how to target and where to target, and just kind of give people direction. But obviously, you have to keep learning anyways. And even if you're not, even if you're not interested in what I just suggested, once you start creating a channel, it almost becomes your responsibility to stay abreast of what's new and upcoming, and to be on top of that. You have to be able to be topical, right? So if there's a new trend, emerging, you have to be reading the books, you have to be watching the gurus and experts, you have to be checking out all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
where do you see most of your people tripping up? I mean, like, all right, so I got a channel and I'm pumping out content and it's relevant to what my audience wants, and I'm optimizing it so it ranks, and I'm in it for the long game. How do I monetize? When does this turn into money?
Yeah, so I think the best way is to collect an email address, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get people on your list. It's called a list. You're building up a database of people, and that is actually the best way. It's really, really interesting question because a lot of YouTubers that have giant channels, a lot of them don't really know. They're not marketers, right? They're just
Yeah.
YouTubers. It's very,
Yeah.
very different. Okay,
Those are my
so
favorite. My favorite clients are the people with a million followers that are like trying to sell effing t-shirts. And I'm like,
yeah.
what are you doing? Like the blog site that gets 10 million visitors a month and they're just selling ad space. Like really? Like that's the best you can do? You have a you have a blog on whatever, pick a niche, and the only thing you come up with is to let other we need to talk. Let's talk rev share deal here. Come on, let's sit
Yeah,
down.
yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. They've got 1 million subscribers and they're making a little bit of money from their views, and YouTube pays them, which is great, right? And you're exactly right. They sell little things like T-shirts, and they don't understand marketing. And so, the way that you really need to do this is understand that platforms like YouTube, and it's just because we're talking about YouTube right now, but it's the same for Twitter, it's the same for Instagram, it's the same for Facebook. All of these websites are just giant pools of people for you to siphon into your business, okay, whatever your business is. And the way that I would do it is I would siphon people from YouTube, for example, onto my email list. And it's very easy. All you have to do is drop your link in the description box inside of YouTube, and at the end of your video you just have a call to action. You say, hey, listen, if you want to find out a little bit more about how I do this, I've got a free ebook, I've got a free report, I've got a free 4-day video training program that will teach you how to do, X, Y, and Z. Just click on it, leave your email address inside, and I'll see you on the next page. Something simple like that. And then once people get onto your email list, then that's really